At Lagos Television, it's all about storytelling. And when others are silent on the issues bothering on the center of excellence, we remain committed. You're watching Lagos Television, the voice of Lagos.
Good evening, welcome to Lagos Television News at 8. I am Joshua Murakinyo. President Bola Tinubu has enjoined Nigerians to reflect on the essence of the occasion of Eid al-Kabir, which bears strong meaning and significance for the nation. This was in a statement signed by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale. Congratulating the Muslim faithful, President Tinubu prayed that Allah accept their supplications and acts of obedience. He emphasized that sacrifice and duty are essential ingredients to nation building and that it takes collective purpose, will, and action to bring about great change, and called on citizens to pray for the nation for continuous peace and stability while working according to purpose in promoting unity, peace, and progress. President Tinubu further reassured Nigerians that his administration is prioritizing their physical, social, and economic security and will not relent on this noble endeavor. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu says Nigeria is working hard to eliminate terrorism, cybercrime, and other criminal activities. The president noted this when he received the director of the United States Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI, Christopher Ashell-Ray. Tinubu calls for collaboration between Nigeria and other countries in West Africa to rid the region of crimes. He said his administration has prioritized education as a tool against poverty, which is generally believed to be a driver of criminal activities, saying no country can combat financial crimes in isolation. President Tinubu called on the United States to support developing countries with the requisite technology and knowledge transfer required to combat complex international crimes. In his remarks, Director Ray says his visit is to enhance the outstanding partnership that exists between the government of Nigeria and the United States. Now, three people traveling on a boat today in Lagos have been abducted by gunmen. Report from the State Police Command says the trio were reportedly whisked away while traveling around Falomo Bridge from Apapa in Lagos, and their names have not yet been ascertained. The State Police Public Relations Officer Benjamin Hundeyi, in a statement, says the Marine Unit of the command got a report of 3 kidnapped persons through the Force Marine Department. The boat in which they were traveling, he says, was found somewhere in Ikorodu, and the security officials have already swung into action to ascertain what happened. He notes that after gathering enough intelligence, the command will pull out its strength to rescue the victims unhurt and bring the perpetrators to justice. The Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, Adegoke Fayode, has called on parents and community leaders to join security agencies in the fight against the use of illicit drugs that is increasing among youths. Fayode adds that the menace portends more future danger if not regulated. We have details in this report.
Various security agencies, Nigeria Drug Law Enforcement Agency, police and others have been on the fight against drugs-related issues. To this end, Commissioner of Police Lagos State Command Adegoke Fayode and other law enforcement agencies are at this town hall meeting organized by Area C Command, Surulere, to engage key stakeholders in the community on the need to curb the criminal acts.
Most of these area boys we arrest, when we arrest them, we ask them questions. Why are you on the street? They end up telling us most of them don't live with their parents, most of them live with their guardians that doesn't care about them. So I think the family foundation is very, very important.
We have in the data that almost 59% of our youth are engaged in drug use, in illicit use of drug. And the nexus between crime and illicit use of drug is so enormous, which means if we can separate drugs from crime, it means the crime is going to go down so much.
Speakers also suggest what government can do to reduce its effect on the society.
And we want to make sure that this message goes around from school to community and to our society. You can see union members from various garages, which means the union members too, they are saying no to use of drug because so many drivers are in use of this illicit drug. That's why we invite all stakeholders that we have to do something.
Regardless of whatever we say here today, whatever they are going to do, they will do. But if they are convinced that they won't do it, then it's for them not to do. So it's them that this message that we appeal to, and also to the homes, the parents. We need to be more attentive to our children and kids.
All the children they came out from somewhere. And from house, you have to learn, you have to make sure you train them, you monitor them of what they are doing outside your house. The most important thing, you should try to know the association, the people that your children associate with.
Because illicit drug has been a very big problem, not only to the family of the user, but to the society at large. So this program is created a platform for the problem to be taken to the grassroots. At least so many students are here by the lectures that has been given. I believe they have gotten enough information to make healthy choices and to help them stay away from drug use.
With the theme, the prison called illicit drug, the way out, youth are encouraged to be ambassadors of fight against drug abuse.
The Lagos State government says it is committed to harnessing the state's tourism and entertainment potential, as well as grow its economy through the collaboration with the Lagos Tourism Niger brand Chic Trade Fair. The special advisor to the governor on tourism, arts and culture, Idris Aregbe, said the Lagos Tourism Niger brand trade fair, tagged Buy Sale Network, holding between 14th and 16th June 2024, is targeting more than 5 billion naira. Aregbe also said the state government's alliance with the brand is working, and re-echoing that Lagos would continue to lead while making sure the government is supporting and positively engaging residents while ensuring that young people are keying into the economic aspect of the state.
In Lagos, making sure that we contribute our own quota is about taking advantage of our advantage position. And I'm happy to see that we have young people in Nigeria who are still so passionate about driving the force and also contributing their own quota and also taking their own share in the economical aspects of Lagos.
Over the years, Lagos State has continued to support small and medium-scale enterprises, and thus far will be in no small measure scale up their growth. And in sports, Super Eagles head coach Finidi George has stepped down from his role following the decision of the Nigerian Football Federation to appoint a foreign coach to oversee him. The former Ajax winger today tendered his resignation to the NFF despite his recent appointment in May. George took the reins after Jose Pesero's contract ended in February, having served as his assistant for 20 months. The team's disappointing performance in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers against South Africa and Benin led to his demotion. As a result, George's one-year contract will be downgraded, and his reported monthly salary of 50 million naira will be reduced to 5 million naira. His hand-picked assistant will also be replaced by the new foreign coaches staff. In a meeting with Sport Minister John Eno, George expressed his frustration with the lack of support from the NFF and questioned the commitment of Nigeria's top players in the crucial World Cup qualifiers. On the foreign scene, South Africa's parliament has re-elected Cyril Ramaphosa as the country's president following a landmark coalition deal between the governing African National Congress and opposition parties. The new government of national unity combines Ramaphosa's ANC, the Center-Right Democratic Alliance, and smaller parties. In his victory speech, Ramaphosa hailed the new coalition and said voters expect the leaders to act and to work together for the good of everyone in our country. The agreement was hashed out on a day of high political drama, which saw the National Assembly sitting late into the evening for votes to confirm who would hold power in the new administration. ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula called the coalition deal a remarkable step. Ramaphosa, who replaces Jacob Zuma as both president and ANC leader following a bitter power struggle in 2018, was able to retain power. The next step is for Ramaphosa to allocate cabinet positions, which will include members of the DA. Now, for more news, connect with Lagos Television on these social media platforms. Now, just a quick reminder, in case of emergencies, please remember to call Lagos toll-free lines 767 or 112. I am Joshua Murakinyo. Good evening.
It is all about decisive and incisive news report on policy matters, in-depth analysis on topical issues, comprehensive discourse on what is critically at stake, detailing the trends and the issues as they are, understanding shared values, information, opinions, views and thought-provoking policies on democratic governance, the economy, politics and socio-cultural issues. Issues and Trends, a one-stop comprehensive socio-economic and political analysis with Obafemi Craig. Issues and Trends, every Thursday from 9 p.m. to 9:55 p.m. on Lagos Television, DSTV Channel 256, GoTV Channel 120, Star Times Channel 113, and UHF 35. Every Thursday from 9 p.m. to 9:55 p.m. on Lagos Television. Issues and Trends with Obafemi Craig. Do join us.
Must commend ITV8 television for the regular sensitization that has been going on their channel, raising the consciousness of our people on the issue of kidnapping.
The consistent use of mobile phones by young people makes one wonder what they are paying rapt attention to on the phone while working, eating, or just standing. In this digital age, social media has had a significant impact on the lives of humans. It helps people stay connected, share information, ideas, thoughts, and opinions with one another in a safe and secure environment through virtual networks like Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, TikTok, and much more. It can also be used to promote businesses, organizations, create content, branding, and other purposes, as well as staying informed about current events and trends.
I use social media for building my identity online, building social networks, staying up to date with what's happening around me.
I believe nowadays youths use the social media to promote their businesses or to just connect with their friends generally.
Just use it to have fun, just to pass time. Some use it for Yahoo and some use it in aspect of academics.
The main thing youth use social media for is just for chatting and to interact and to meet new people.
Let's talk about how nude has been like everywhere these days. If there was no social media, if someone trusts you that it's going to leak your nude, you know that okay, it's not going anywhere. But now that there's social media, they tell you, oh, I'm going to leak your nude. There's Instagram, there's TikTok, there's Telegram, there's a lot of apps that they can leak your nude. So like these days it's good and it's bad. But I feel like the bad part of social media these days for youth is like really, really higher than the good parts.
Meanwhile, the consistent use of mobile phone has been linked to having effect on the eyes, the body posture, and general mental health.
Every 15 minutes you need to change position so that your muscles don't harden up, and you need to also ensure that you spend as little time as possible on your devices, because they've been known to engage us for far longer than we should stay on them.
This is the proper posture for lying in bed with a pillow so that you do not cause neck pain. You can use your phone in this position, ensuring that both the neck and the head and the shoulders are well supported by the pillow. The pillow typically should be in between the neck and the shoulder, and your phone should be held at eye level so you don't have any pains afterwards. Equally, you can also lean back against a wall with a pillow supporting your back and your neck, and ensure that it's your eyes that move downwards to the phone, not your neck, so that your head is supported in a very good position and you You should also not stay in that position for too long, or your muscles will become stiff and it will lead to pain in the neck.
Please and please always take intervals, take time to rest, take time off social media, take time off the phone, take time off Netflix, YouTube, and the rest of it. So now, if you are a working class person like a banker, and you know you spend so many hours on the laptop, for every hour spent, you can take 5 to 10 minutes break. That is the very first step to take to avoid these complaints or prolong complaints with the use of laptops and phones. Then another way we've tried to cope this situation is we have this, we prescribe this protective eyewear we call anti-reflective lenses. They are lenses that when you put on, they tend to help reflect harmful rays of light from your laptops and from your phones. So the effect of the light cannot be so harmful to the eye. So they have it in anti-blue, they have it in photochromic kind of lenses. So that's another way we also help to cope their complaints.
What then should be the impact of the social media on the youth?
Make use of social media positively. You can actually make more money legally and connect and network. You can be a better person through social media. It doesn't have to be illegal things always.
Using social media platforms responsibly and balancing it with real-life connections is important for the overall well-being of the youth.
The female gender, as identified over time, is mostly at risk of sexual, domestic, and gender-based violence. Ironically, in recent times, the narrative is changing and the toll of domestic violence against men is on the increase. Titilola Vivo Adeniyi, the Executive Secretary of Lagos Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, gives insight on a research conducted by the Lagos State Government last year, which revealed that there were 340 reported cases of domestic violence perpetrated against men by their wives between September 2022 and July 2023.
We are encouraged by the fact that we are gradually breaking the culture of silence, even amongst the male folk. Right, but ultimately, even if you check the data, 93% was from females, 7% was from males. So I don't think we can boast that we've broken the culture of silence for both genders, but it is encouraging that we have more men, having more faith in the system and reporting.
Irrespective of gender, domestic violence is still domestic violence, but people often assume that it should be the man who is abusing the woman. So most men do not speak out. So I think the awareness of women abusing their men is on the rise now. So men are beginning to speak out that, okay, I'm being abused by my wife. It's no longer a shameful thing. I think that's why we see more of it. It's not like that's not been happening.
Some school of thought attributed this trend to the state of the nation, as most women basically limit or reduce their social life for domestic activities or reasons. Another excuse for this dastardly act by some wives to their husbands is that some men feel threatened by their wives' successes and financial capabilities.
When a man is not able to meet up with his obligation and maybe find the wife to be more successful, there is this threat. And because of that threat, the man tends to already be building a kind of hatred. When the woman is not playing the role of a man virtually in everything, and the man still wants the woman to submit. Meanwhile, the woman is carrying almost 80%. In fact, some homes 90%, some 100%.
He should also give himself that respect and that integrity as the man and try to get something doing for himself, because no woman will want to be under a man that is not doing something, under a man that is jobless.
The shame of speaking out has made the case underreported and the fear of being stigmatized by friends and associates.
I know of a man that said he took almost 6 slaps from the wife before the man filed for divorce. Then I said, why didn't you speak out? He said, Eti Wolomago, which he is going to hear it, that my wife slapped me. Speak out. There's no shame in one person have to start it. Once one person started, every other will be speaking out. There is no shame in it.
Instead of you beating your wife or beating your husband, you call it a day.
It's an error for a woman to beat a man. It's not good. A woman beating a man, that means you are the head of the family.
The nation's judicial system should be reviewed to protect male victims and also bring their abusers to justice, as it is applicable for female victims.
Of course, there are some certain offences that can only be perpetrated by a man, which is the offence of rape, section 260. But subsequently, other sections, you have 261, sexual assault by penetration, that is any person. So if a man is experiencing violence, a woman is experiencing violence, they both come under the Protection Against Domestic Violence Law and the criminal law of Lagos State.
There must be a psychological change in women then to be in a position to be their husbands. So, but I don't think it's a good thing in any case, because violence is violence, and assault on another person is something that shouldn't be encouraged.
An aggressive public enlightenment should be embarked upon by the government to curb this menace of domestic abuse in its entirety. It is inhumane.
If you are having conflicts, there is breakdown in communication, you must speak up and get help. Agencies such as ours can provide an avenue for you to communicate and dialogue. We can also provide an avenue for you to speak with professionals. You are experiencing one issue or the other, perhaps there's a mental health implication. You can speak with a psychologist, you can speak with a counselor to debrief. You can receive psychosocial support and therapy at no cost.
Men entangled in abusive relationships should speak out, get counsel to prevent any of the party from being maimed or lose their life. The Conversation. Let the conversation continue.
We must make headway as you've charted the course. The people deserve no less.
We have started the conversation with them, and I want to tell you that it's ongoing effort, and we'll continue to have the conversation.
Let the conversation continue.
Hello everyone, this is another episode of Yes I Can, and today I have my radiant, beautiful Mercy Eze. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Mercy Eze. Yeah, I'm from Ebonyi State, a graduate of business administration in Nnamdi Azikiwe University. Yeah, I graduated 2019. Yeah, and I'm also an amputee. Mine was as a result of polio when I was 6 years old. You know, polio. So they had not given me this polio vaccine that they gave back then, and I fell sick. I was not supposed to be injected. So because of the fear, they quickly took me to a nearby, is it chemist or pharmacist? Yeah. So I was running temperature and I was, shivering. So they injected me. At that point, I noticed a shock on my left leg. So from there, I started having this pain. So they were like, okay, it's normal. Before you know, I went home, I started limping, just like that. So that was when they knew that I had not taken this vaccine and they were not supposed to inject me. So that was where all these things started from. So it was now a struggle for me to walk that way. I was 5 or 6 years old. So then it became worse. So we went to Igbobi in 2006. So we told them about it. They were like, okay, that they have to do a corrective surgery on the leg. Okay. A corrective surgery on the leg to correct the deformity the foot was already having back then. So that was when they were like, no, I was too young to undergo a surgery. I was still a teenager back then. I was too young to undergo a surgery, that maybe when I'm much older, I can come for the surgery. Not knowing, the longer it takes, the worse it becomes. So it became worse. So when I was supposed to finish secondary school, I noticed I could not walk again. So that was how we booked for the surgery, and we did the corrective surgery, not even the amputation.
What now led to
So what led to the amputation was after the surgery, after the corrective surgery, the leg started tearing up the next day. Yes, so that means the leg had already died, like there was no life. So at the point, they were like, okay, they have to, that the only solution is for them to amputate. They encouraged me that I could still become whatever I want to be, get my life together, do things even with my one limb. So that was how they accepted and they did the amputation. I'd always liked sports right from time, and I didn't know earlier that they have this, they call special sports.
Paralympics.
Para. So later someone told me that, do you know you can do sports? You know, they have this para sports. I said, really? In Surulere, yes. That's why I even worked my service. I told them